Your secrets, if you really look at yourself, you would be speechless. What happened to being doctors and teachers? What happened to being your brother's keeper? Nowadays, kids more worried about
Hello everybody, and welcome yet again to more of my Uncomfortably Romantic Valentine's Day special. As always, this is your host Gunsage, and today we are playing HunieCam Studio. I actually ended up liking this one quite a bit more than Honey Pop. Could be Honey Pop, I suppose. We're gonna go ahead and get started here. It's funny, if I described what this game was to you, you might have some assumptions about it, about what it is. And you'd be right, but you'd also be wrong. And I think that's another thing that threw off a lot of people when they purchased this game, so we're going to get right into it and I'll show you what I mean. Also, the loading screens are pretty great. You're welcome.
Oh, hey, look who decided to show up. I guess the legends are true, you do exist. Could you do me a huge favor and show up even later next time? That'd be sweet.
I love her voice acting in this.
Okay, look, if you want this gig, you gotta listen to directions. We both know I'm doing you a solid by letting you manage my girls. I mean, let's keep it 100 here. This is the closest you're getting to female interaction right now. That should be payment enough. And it will be, since that's the only payment you're getting. Let's not waste any more time. I'll start you out with one of our fresh prospects. Which one of these girls catches your eye?
So there's a couple of things to keep in mind when you select a girl. Really, it doesn't matter who you select initially. They all are pretty much the same. No real talent, no real skill, which means you only pay them $1 an hour, which is fine. The initial fetishes they satisfy is teen and fit, or huge tits and classes, or Latina and thick ass. I'm all about huge titty nerdy girls, so there you go. Since none of them smoke or drink, you don't have to worry about that either, although here is your alcohol and cigarettes up here. So, just something to keep in mind.
Good call. That's kind of who I was thinking too, but I'd say that no matter who you picked. Now that we've recruited her, we have to employ her. Otherwise, it's like, what was the point?
Yeah.
It's pretty easy, though. I'll show ya. Break open the girls section for me, will ya? All you gotta do to employ her is drag her from the girls section to the open position on the studio bar to the right.
Yep.
What did I say? Easy, right? Why don't we give our new employee a try? Let's have her do a quick cam show. Drag her from the studio bar to the building in the southwest corner of the city. That's the cam studio.
Yep.
Sweet. The cash she earns from camming gets deposited at the studio, so you have to pull it out if you want to spend it. To collect her earnings, you gotta click up on that building. Go ahead, you do the work. I'll watch. $5? Clearly this girl is new to camming. I mean, look, it's a start, I guess. But if we're gonna make it in this industry, we need fans. You know, regulars. Desperate dudes with disposable income. We'll have to release some dirty photo sets for free. I don't like free, but we need the exposure. Let's have a legit shoot done. Drag her over to the photo studio, okay? Similar to cam shows, we have to collect the new fans she attracted. So, do that. Alright, so here's the deal with fans. Each new fan we get has a preference. Everybody has their kink, their fetish. I'm sure I don't need to explain what a fetish is to a sick freak like you, but it's important to go over anyway. I'll show you what I mean. Crack open the fan section real quick. Here you can see how many fans we have broken down by fetish. Looks like she had a small following before we hired her. Fans of a particular fetish will only watch girls who can satisfy that desire. People people are picky about their porn like that.
So one strategy, since I have a lot of girls who are already, fans who are already into the glasses thing, if I were to hire another cam girl, it would be advantageous of me to go ahead and hire someone who had glasses.
So if you had a bunch of dudes who were into black chicks, that's not going to help an Asian girl at all. You get it? When you send a girl to do a photo shoot, she's only going to interest new fans who match one of her fetishes.
Yep.
You can always see which fetishes a girl satisfies by checking her profile. I'll show you. Click her face on the studio bar. See? Her fetishes are listed right here. Each girl will naturally support a couple by default. Her current fan count, which is based on her fetishes, is down here. The more fans she has, the more money she'll earn camming. Let's have our girl do another cam show. Only this time, I'm gonna show you a special technique I call finger blasting. If you click on a building while a girl is there, it'll rush the activity so it's completed faster. It's pretty useful. We'll kick off a show as normal. Drop her off at the cam studio for a hot minute. Now click the shit out of that building. I'll keep the clock frozen so you can get an idea of how it works. Look at that! That's some damn fine clicking. You can also click and hold if you want.
Clicking and holding is actually a little faster, in my experience.
Let's give that a try. Collect the cash from the cam studio by clicking and holding down on the building. So far, so good. But we're not gonna make that fuck you money with only one girl to show off. There's a model agency in town that's bound to be ripe with hotties looking to make a quick buck. If you send one of our girls in there undercover to shill our studio, I'm sure she can line up some solid prospects. It's better than you going in there and creeping them out. I'm not saying you're busted, but you're not winning any pageants. Oh, and we ain't employing shit unless we open up a new position. We gotta invest in growing the business, you know? Here, why don't you pull up the invest section and I'll show you.
This kind of adds a new element to the game, because if it was just doing this and that's it, whatever, right? The big difference here, how this differentiates itself from other games similar to this, you only have 21 days to get as many fans as possible, and you have to choose carefully how you're going to invest, how you're going to establish promotions, all kinds of stuff, because it's actually quite a bit more difficult than you might think for a game like this. And because it constantly keeps you on your toes, I would argue that it is worth playing without the loot aspect. I would honestly be interested in seeing if this studio has tried to make something that isn't loot, because they probably would have had a wider appeal. Just personal preference there.
There are a lot of aspects of business you can invest in here to expand operations, improve functions, and maximize revenue. In order to employ a second girl, we need to invest in staffing, which we just happen to be able to afford. Imagine that. I'm too important to click things, so go ahead and invest in staffing for me, will ya? Alright, moving up in the world. Now when you recruit a new girl, just drag her to this open position to employ her. And there you have it. Those are most of the basics of running a cam girl operation. But don't forget, you work for me, and I expect results. I want to see them fast too. I'm not getting any younger. I'll give you 3 weeks to get as many new fans as possible. That's 21 days. Anybody can do that. The more fans, the better. There are some dope-ass dick trophies in it for you too. I made them myself.
I've gotten all of them except this one, which is why I am missing one achievement.
So remember, 21 days. The clock is ticking, so don't be dicking around on me. I want that big money, boy.
Yeah.
I highly recommend starting out by recruiting and employing more girls, because 1 or 2 ain't gonna cut it.
I don't know about that. Strictly focusing on one girl, I've actually gotten a fairly decent amount. I think I got a gold trophy like that once.
Now get back to work. I'll check in later to go over some other stuff with you. Peace!
Alright, but
Sure.
we are going to do this. We're going to take her advice.
Oh shit, I forgot something. running off slave labor here, we do have to pay these lovely ladies. I'll show you how we do payroll. Do me a favor and open up the books real quick.
Yeah, I don't typically do this. I usually let it just happen at the end of the day, but, you know.
The payroll section shows a list of employed girls, what their current hourly rates are, and what we owe them. If we have the cash on hand, you can process the payroll at any time by clicking this pay button. But be careful because the payroll will automatically process every night at midnight, even if we can't afford it. So I'm just saying, keep an eye on that. The last thing I need right now is you knocking us into debt. Oh, and pro tip, don't forget to invest in inventory. Just trust me, it's not my first time around the block.
That's how you advance the tutorial. But there's a purpose to it.
How'd I do? By the way, when you're looking at new girls to recruit, there are a couple things to keep in mind. The music note represents her talent level. The higher her talent level is, the more money she earns per fan while camming.
Yep.
The little bow represents her style level. The higher her style level is, the more fans she will attract with photo shoots. But higher talent and style levels do come at a cost, as she will usually demand a higher hourly rate.
Yep. If you notice over here, because she's got 2 and 2, it's actually $4. The other thing to keep in mind here is she smokes and drinks. Something you definitely need to keep in mind. For me personally, even though they are very different, I try to get the 3 starting girls as early as possible because they don't smoke and they don't drink. They're crappy when it comes to the talent and style, but that's okay. That's something I can work on.
So, you better be sure we can afford to take her on board before you go off hiring a total babe.
Yep.
If you want more details, you can hover over the music note and little bow icons. Last thing, this fan count here is how many of our existing fans would be interested in her, based on her fetishes.
Which it's going to be 10 either way. This one's less high maintenance. There you go. Drag her over.
This'll be fun.
Get everybody camming right now.
Sure thing.
Rope them in together.
All right then. Anything else? How'd I do? Yep. Leave it to me. Sure, why not? That's that.
This is how I usually do it, but obviously you can do it however you like. I like to alternate. Let's see. Can I get an auto? Yes. Okay.
All done with that. Leave it to me. Sure, why not? Anything else? Okie dokie. How'd I do? All right then. All done. Sure thing. Not too bad.
Okay.
Sure, why not?
I think it was 50 to get the inventory. Pretty sure. Also, I apologize if my shit's going out because my headset's kind of acting fucky lately. I'm not sure why. Oh, there's my 50. Okay, inventory.
Okay, sweet. Now that you've invested something into inventory, let me explain how accessories work. This is the adult shop. If you send a girl here to browse around for a bit, you'll be able to pick up a new accessory. The adult shop carries all kinds of messed up shit. Sex toys, drugs, and some weird-ass, random-ass stuff. When you get a new accessory, it'll be chilling right here. This is our accessory storage area. From here, you can drag an accessory onto any currently employed girl on the studio bar.
Yep.
You can see which accessories a girl has at any time by checking out her profile. Accessories do all kinds of crazy shit. Each one has a unique effect, and they can be insanely useful.
Yep. Oh, look, it's cocaine. Alright, so, here's how I'm going to determine who gets it. She's got more fans. She gets it.
Appreciate it.
Alright.
That's that.
Let's get her over to the sex room.
How'd I do? Sure, why not?
Done with that.
See, this way she's
I'm
making me
getting the
more
feeling
money.
that one of our girls is starting to get kinda stressed out. That's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, as you do activities, you gain stress.
Each time a girl does an activity, it stresses her out a bit.
Yep.
The amount of stress is based on how much time the activity takes. If a girl reaches 100% stress, that's it. She won't do anything until she chills the fuck out.
Yep.
Fortunately, there's a relaxing day spa in town. You can drop a girl off here at any time and her stress will melt away. The more stressed out she is, the longer she'll spend at the spa. She'll always leave stress-free though. All done.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Alright. Now, so we got marijuana. And this is where it gets a little weird. So, you got stuff like this where you don't have to pay them as much, right? But then you got stuff like this. Bondage fetish supported. So what does that do exactly? Well, again, you've got fans that are interested in different shit. So we've got, what is that, huge tits and glasses, teen and fit, right? So this adds an additional fetish onto whoever. So what I like to do is to have an agreed upon fetish that all the girls jump onto. That way there's more fans and the whole 9 yards and everything. It makes it more interesting. So there you go. And there isn't any one that's better than another either. It's just, you know, kind of whatever. So let's start with bondage. Alright. She's having some difficulty getting ahead. Probably because she's not doing cocaine. So we are going to get on that.
Alright then.
Alright, let's have a look at our investments. I could get more cash. What I think I want to do is upgrade the web servers and hardware so that we can make more money and get more fans automatically each time. But yes, at some point I am going to have to go ahead and increase the amount of money that I pick up per
Give it a shot.
and a bunch of other shit, because that's also pretty important.
Not too bad.
What I like to try to do is, before we hit midnight, go ahead and bring out as many investments as possible, because yes, I'll go into the red, but I can make that back up, if I'm smart.
Alright then.
There we go.
How'd I do?
That's that.
Give it a shot.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, allocate her.
Okie dokie.
Not too bad.
Okay, let's keep going.
Alright then.
Yep. Okay.
Done with that. Sure, why not?
And we're in debt. You're killing me right now. Didn't I tell you to keep an eye on the payroll? We need to make some serious cash soon, or we're gonna be out of business. If you stay in the red for over 24 hours, I'm gonna have to let you go. It's nothing personal. It's just business, baby. Nothing gets in between me and my money.
Yep.
Sure thing.
How'd I do?
And looky there. Alright, now she's too stressed out. Go chill the fuck out.
Alright then.
Anything else? Leave it to me.
I probably said this earlier, but I like to try to emphasize anything that's going to make me money fast.
All done.
Okay.
Sure thing.
Let's see what investments. I can do additional cash, which is nice. Productivity is probably the best thing to invest in early, because right now it's only 1 minute per when I finger blast, but I can increase it to 2 minutes per, which makes it that much quicker, which is
Not
nice.
bad. Give it a shot.
Leave it to me.
How'd I do? Alright then.
Okay.
Not too bad. Sure, why not?
Yeah, that's always nice. Automation's pretty cool. There will become a point at which automation really, you don't need to invest in it anymore, though.
How'd I do?
Let's see. She should probably go hunting for another sex toy. Hopefully, if I'm lucky, I can get another ball gag.
Not too bad.
I'm not lucky. Alright, so there's also this subscribe pillow. Instantly earn 50% of the fans that would be earned from a photo shoot after performing a cam show. That's not bad. But I think we're going to go with vibrator. Yes. Anyway.
Sure, why not?
Invest. Don't really need to worry about capacity because I've only got 2 girls at the moment anyway.
Give it a shot.
Okay. And that's basically the game. I mean, I think you get it. It's not really that hard to figure out, to be honest. It's just, it can get difficult because there's a lot of things that you have to balance over time. Or, well, could conceivably balance over time. That's another reason why it's always interesting to try to see how far you can get with one girl.
How'd I do?
So,
Give it a shot.
not bad. Really no reason to do that right yet. But yeah, really the other stuff that hasn't been shown is you can buy alcohol and cigarettes. The girls that you know, smoke and drink, they don't get stressed out as quickly as long as you have them on hand. Alcohol and cigarettes. You can send them out on private escorts. They will get the money they would normally get from a cam show very quickly. They can also get STDs from it. It's fantastic. And beyond that, you can send them to the strip club to increase their talent. You can send them shopping to increase their style. That's about it. There really isn't a whole lot else to explain in this game, to be honest. Oh, right, promotions. This isn't opened up yet because I'm still following the tutorial, but the way promos work is you get instant fans for specific fetishes by running advertisements. That's always nice because if you've got, you know, let's say promotions for huge tits or promotions for teen or promotions for bondage, for example, that really works in your favor. But there's also stuff for like promotions for like black chicks. It's like, okay, you can do that, but I don't have any black girls on here, so yes, technically I have those fans, but they're not going to contribute any money, and I'm not going to grow in fans for that fetish until I have black girls on here. So, just something to keep in mind. It's very interesting how all this plays out, and that's another reason why it's interesting, like, the amount of depth that there is in it, because, you know, in most of these games, they're not timed, usually. It's not really score-based, per se. In fact, in many cases, it's, like, super casual to the point of being too easy. You can fail this pretty quickly and easily if you don't pay attention to what you're doing. That's another reason why I said I think it'd be really interesting if they had done one that wasn't lewd, because then it would attract, you know, all kinds of people, you know, not just adults only kind of deal. But yeah, overall, this is actually a really fun game. Just don't go into it thinking you're gonna see girls doing shit to themselves, because this is the game. You don't get to see, like, a bunch of, like, crazy hentai content. That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. If you do well in the game, you get these tokens that you can use to buy more clothes for the girls, but there's no nudity. There's no true sexual content. It is sexual in that, oh yeah, you can buy ball gags and vibrators and shit, but you don't get to see them using that shit. You know that they're there and hypothetically using them during their shows and whatever. That's about it. So, anyway, yeah, that was HunieCam Studio. As always, this is your host, Gunsage, and thank you once again for joining me for Uncomfortably Romantic. I certainly hope you've enjoyed, and as always, you stay awesome. Hey guys, thank you once again for watching. You stay awesome. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos just like this one.
Secrets, if you really look at yourself, you would be speechless. What happened to being doctors and teachers? What happened to being your brother's keeper? Nowadays kids more worried